Hi everyone, it's Ellie and welcome back to Earl Books. Today I am finally doing the mid-year book freakout tag. So I'm actually one of the co-creators of the tag. I created this back with Chammy from Read Like Wildfire in like 2012, 2013, something like that. It's been going for ages. It's kind of taken a life of its own in that Chammy and I don't even have to post anymore. Just around the middle of the year people just start, and that's great. So I thought that I would finally do this tag since I did help create it. And yeah, if you don't know, there are 14 questions just about books in the middle of the year sort of thing. So let's get started. So question number 1 is best book you've read so far in 2018, and I don't actually have this one, so I'm going to do a image here, and that is Eggshell Skull by Bree Lee. Do you want to come in? Do you want to be in? Oh, we're stuck. There we are. You can be here and be my little, pretty little decoration. So this is not the kind of book that I would have chosen ever before. This year, well, towards the end of last year, I really started getting into non-fiction, and this is the incredible story of Bree Lee, who was she was training under a judge here in Australia, and she was helping him with like his cases and that sort of thing, and then she decided to make a sexual assault case against someone from her childhood, and it's the story of that, and it's incredible and really emotional and just really, really timely, and I would highly recommend it. So number 2 is best sequel you've read so far in 2018. I've read I'm so bad at keeping up with series that I've read no sequels. The only one I did is I finally finished The Blood of Olympus by Rick Riordan, and yes, I read House of Hades in 2016, and in my defense, this was stuck in the UK for a good couple of months, maybe even a year after I came back from the UK. So there's that, but also it took me another year to read it. So by default, but also because this is an amazing book, this is my best sequel of this year. Question number 3 is new release you haven't read yet but want to. I have here 1,000 Perfect Notes by CJ Drews. For those of you who don't know, this is Kate from Paper Fury's book. I've been following Kate for I don't know, 3 or 4 years now. No way, I've been blogging longer than that. Maybe 5 or 6 years. So I'm so happy that she has a book out, and I can't wait to read it, but I'm also terrified. So I'm hoping to actually pick this one up in the next few days. It came in at work and I grabbed it immediately, so yes, I'm excited. Okay, number 4 is most anticipated release for the second half of the year, and I've written this down and now I'm not sure. I think it's coming out the second half of this year. I don't know whether it's been pushed back or not, but it is Queen of Air and Darkness by Cassandra Clare. I went through a time where I really didn't like Cassandra Clare and her books, and then I read Lady Midnight, and that book is incredible, and I've read it twice now, and I'm probably going to reread that and Lord of Shadows before this one comes out, because I just wasn't ruined enough by the end of Lord of Shadows the first time. And yeah, I'm just so excited for this one, because I just love Julian and I love Emma, and I just can't wait to see how it all ends. Number 5 is Biggest Disappointment. So for this one, I went with The Favourite Sister by Jessica Knoll, and again, I don't have a copy of this. I had pretty high hopes for this because everyone was talking about how great her first book was, and I got an art from work, and I was really excited because it sounded amazing, and it was so bad. I think I made it like 50 or 60 pages in. Usually I give to page 100 before I make a decision, but I DNF'd it, and just awful. It was just so bad. But I complained about it enough that all of my co-workers now refer to it as my favourite book, and I've put it on display, so I have to stare at it like every day at work. So thanks for that, guys. Number 6 is Biggest Surprise. I'm going with Every Day by David Leatherton. I think that's how you say his name. Who knows, really. I was surprised that I liked this because I read one of the books he wrote with Rachel. Is it Rachel Cohen? Something like that. And yeah, that was okay, but I also read that. Do you mind? He's just scratching his neck and just staring at me like, what you gonna do about it? You done? Yeah, so I read that when I was like 13, and then I read Will Grayson, and again, that was alright. But yeah, so I didn't really have high hopes for this one, but I read it because my co-workers really liked it, and obviously there's a movie coming out, so I thought I'd give it a go, and actually really enjoyed it. I have some issues with it. I feel like it's very insta-lovey, and it's all very like, I'll die without you, and I don't personally like that kind of romance because I think that's incredibly toxic, and I firmly stand by the fact that you don't need a romantic relationship to survive in this world. They're nice, but you'll be okay. So yeah, I didn't really like the message, but the premise of the story was interesting enough that I got through it, and I did really enjoy it. Question number 7 is favourite new author, which can be a debut or just new to you. I'm going with Jasmine Ward. I read Men We Reaped this year, and I really liked it, and I feel like I've read quite a few new to me authors this year, but I feel like she's the one that stands out, and definitely the one that I'm most excited to read her other books. I think she's got 3 or 4 out, and yeah, I'm really excited to get to them and see what I think. Number 8 is Newest Fictional Crush, and I'm also going to go with number 9, which is Newest Favourite Character for this one. Where is it? Fellowship of the Ring, Aragon. This might be kind of a cheat because I loved Aragon as a kid. My older brother was really into Lord of the Rings, and his favourite character was Legolas, so he told me my favourite character would be Aragon, and I thought when I read this that I wasn't going to like him, but no, I still love him, and yeah, So he's my new favorite fictional crush and new favorite character, because I just love him. I really do. Okay, number 10 is a book that made you cry, and this was actually harder to pick than I thought it would be because I actually had a few. So firstly, I again have Eggshell Skull because, like I mentioned, highly emotional and beautiful. But I also have this little book. This is called Flames by Robbie Arnott. This is making huge waves with all of my co-workers. Like, I'm the fourth out of the six of us that are in the store. I'm the fourth one to read this, and this is actually my co-worker's copy. And I just, it's so good. But there's a scene sort of towards the start of the book that's pretty emotional and ruined me. Luckily, I had been warned by my co-worker who lent me the book, because she said she'd read it on the bus and cried and told me not to read it on the way home. But yes, that moment was incredibly emotional, so it makes the list. They're all falling. Next one, question number 11 is book that made you happy. And I have Am I There Yet by Mary Andrew. Andrew? That's not a name. Mary Andrew. I just love Mary Andrew. She is just so funny, and I just love her. This is her first book, and it's got like all of her illustrations in it and some very short little essays. I think she's just an incredible person, and her essays were really great. There's some stuff in there that I really connected to, and a lot of her art is really relatable, but yeah, I found the essays also really great, and I just love her, and I'll support anything she does. And yeah, it just made me really happy. Okay, question number 12 is most beautiful book you've bought this year, so far this year, or received. Am I there yet? They all just fell over again. I have magical powers. Am I there yet is definitely a contender, but I had to go with one that I bought the other day. This is The Diary of Frida Kahlo. I'm obsessed with Frida Kahlo at the moment, and this has got like some of her artwork in there. And yeah, I just love it because it's Frida Kahlo, and therefore it is beautiful. Oh, I didn't notice that. Here's a fun fact. I love Frida Kahlo so much that I was learning Spanish so that I could understand some of the diary a little bit more. And I've just realised there's a translation in the back. But yeah, I just love this one. And it's got like gorgeous end papers. Oh, it's so pretty. And yeah, it's a million times prettier because it's Frida Kahlo. Okay, second last question, number 13 is what books do you need to read by the end of the year? And as is my answer every year, so many. So, here's some ones I've got. Return of the King, Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. I also really want to read the Kane Chronicles series because I want to catch up with Ryden's Wax, and since this is just a trilogy, I thought that I would read this before I go into his longer other series that are still being written. Yep, okay, and finally number 14 is favourite book community member. And again, I always have a really long list for this, and I feel like maybe all of these people, but one were on my list last year. So I have Yulene, and again I'll link everyone below. So I have Yulene, my darling friend Ing, Dina, Josh, Val, person who didn't make the list last year, but I've recently started talking to, am I going to say this name right? Enmika? I'm so sorry. I probably didn't say that right. Why do all of my friends have Dutch names? I really need to. I have too many Dutch friends. And anyway, last but not least is, of course, one of my best friends of all time, Angel. And yeah, there we are. That's the end of the tag. I'm mindful that this is already a super long video, so I'm not going to say anything here towards the end. I will just say that I will see you in my next video, and yes,